Good morning. Delegate Assembly, please come to order. We're pretty well scattered out, so I'm not even going to guess as to whether we have a quorum, but we'll have a count shortly. First things first, Major Matinos, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Be honored to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Please have a look at the minutes while we go right into the law enforcement report. And the PBSO will be talking about a particular item, which I want you all to listen to very carefully in the area of computer scams. So please, Captain.
All right, good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, I'll dive right into the activity report. So this month, we had 180 calls for service in the village, and there was 42 cases that were reported or that generated a case number within the sheriff's office with our deputies. And I'll go over those cases individually in a minute. Our traffic report for July, this is the summer months, so we don't have as much traffic that's coming in and out of the village. But we were in here with our motor units, and we wrote 20 citations, 15 written warnings, and there was 5 accidents, and the accidents seemed to be minor in nature. There was one with injuries, but the injuries weren't that bad. That was our traffic report. And then for our cases of interest, again, the majority are fraud, and I'm going to go over those in a minute. There's one that's really shocking that I'll talk about. But we had one burglary. Looked like there was a suspicious person inside one of the laundry rooms, and a window was discovered pushed out. Deputies were called to the scene. The suspect was gone when we got there. We looked for him but couldn't find him, but it looked like there was no damage or nothing taken from the laundry room. We had a bicycle theft taken from Coventry, and then of concerning nature, there was a vandalism over at Dover, and there was a swastika that was carved into the interior of an elevator door. So this is one of those situations. We have detectives looking into the case, but when you see someone that doesn't belong in the village, or you see someone that may be suspicious, or someone that may be out of place, you call us so we can send someone to check them out and see what they may be up to. There's a couple places of note in Century Village that we're keeping an eye on. Most of the people that live here are great people and good neighbors, but like any other community, there's those hot spots or houses where they have unsavory people. We're aware of them. So, but if you see some kind of activity that seems suspicious, please call us so we can look into it. Again, the majority of the crime, unfortunately, that occurred in the village was fraud. We had a victim that discovered a fraudulent check that was typed out, and his signature was forged. The loss was $15,000. Yep. Victim discovered unknown persons took out fraudulent car insurance in his name. That was eventually straightened out. Again, another caper involving gift cards. Victim's computer was hacked, and the suspect requested gift cards for the victim to regain access, and the victim lost $1,000, so they sent gift cards to this person. Another fraud. Victim entered personal information into a website and was prompted to purchase gift cards to claim a cash prize, loss of $1,000. Now this one's the big one. This one's a whopper. A victim purchased a laptop, and after it was first turned on, she received an alert that the computer had been hacked. She was then instructed to send several wire transfers. Right. So does everyone know that it takes a lot of effort to send a wire transfer to another bank? I mean, that's not something you got to put effort into it. This person lost $234,900. Right. So think of it, there's a limit on wire transfers, right? You can only transfer up to $10,000 a day, because then the IRS and the federal government looks at that as a SAR, suspicious activity report. Now, the bank will let you supersede that if, depending on it, but there's a limit on the amount of wire transfers you can do in a day. So if someone's sending 10 to 30,000 at a clip over a course of several days, I just gotta sit here and just plead with everyone here. Don't send wire transfers to anybody. I mean, a wire transfer is a very time-consuming financial transaction that you should know exactly who you're sending the money to and for what purpose. And to have to do with a laptop that's been hacked, please talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends, talk to your family members, and there's no reason to be sending about $250,000 in wire transfers over a laptop anywhere. I just, it's sad. So this case is being investigated. It's not being investigated by my detectives because the loss is so high. We have a specialized unit at the sheriff's office called Financial Crimes, and they're the ones that are looking into this. I don't know the status of the case, or it's just very hard to recover these kinds of money because the thieves are very sophisticated in getting the wire transfers and sending them to multiple locations and then sending them overseas. So again, as we tell you every month, you know, prevention is key, and not to fall for these scams to begin with. You know, if your life was just fine before someone's soliciting you something, chances are it's going to be fine by you saying no to the person or ignoring them or hanging up. And even if it's a law enforcement entity, hey, we're with this association or that association, we're looking for money, I would just ignore them. You know who the charities are that you want to contribute to and give money to. It's not worth it to do business with someone over the phone or the internet and get scammed. It's too risky nowadays. It really is. If you're good-hearted and you know who the charities are you want to contribute to, do it on the front end and then ignore all the solicitation on the back end. So does anybody have any questions? I know you got a busy meeting before we get going. All right. Okay. Yeah, we'll see you guys at the 1 o'clock meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just collateral to that last report for all computer users. If you get a new machine, I know the first thing many people do is plug it in. They plug it in and they hook it up to the modem, and they're on the network. This is not the first thing you should do. You should run virus scan and anti-malware scan from a CD, a DVD, or a flash drive before you plug anything in. Clean all the junk out of that computer before you plug it in to a network and it phones home to the hive. This is a lot of money. Possibly this individual's life savings, $235,000. All right? Now we have a computer club here. If you get a new computer, check with them if you have any questions. Ken, who is the chair of our computer club. Thank you.
I can't turn the microphone on.
Yeah, you got to turn it on. It's a little slider on in about the middle. You got it.
Testing. Yes, is it on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the president of the computer club in Century Village, and anybody that gets a new computer, you don't have to be a member of the club. If you have any questions, just come down to the computer club. I'm there every Monday at 10:30 in the morning on the second floor in the classroom. You don't have to be a member. Just come down, and we'll help you with it.
Thank you, Ken.
As far as buying a new computer, when you get a new computer, you have to go online with it first. You got to sign in with a new computer or else it won't work.
Well, mine worked. Worked like a charm. All right. Thank you. That was a great offer. You know? Okay. Before we go on with my report, Judge D'Amico, who is due in court, has asked to say a few words for you. We have a number of volunteers, and we also have some distinguished guests. I can always tell when there's some sort of election coming. Go ahead, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to go first, members and all of you folks. I am Judge Paul D'Amico. I have been your judge for the last 20 years, sitting as a civil judge, a criminal judge, and in about 30 minutes, I'll be going to the domestic violence bench. How many people, I've talked to a lot of you today, a lot of people have said they voted already, and some of you have told me that you've cast a vote for me. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your participation. Everybody in this room is terrific because you are plugged into your communities. So many people are not. They don't know what's going on. And when these judicial races come up, I know my wife gets a ton of phone calls. Nobody knows who the judges are. So this is a way for you to figure out who we are, put a name with a face. I was here last month and got to meet plenty of you. I run the county court. The county court is the people's court. If any of you ever have contact with the court, I guarantee it tenfold, it's probably going to be with a county court judge because of the types of cases that we handle. Because of that contact, you want to make sure that you keep qualified and experienced judges in those seats because you're going to have such contact with us. Also, on a very serious note, you just brought up that there was a swastika printed on one of the buildings. There is discrimination and racism, very ugly kinds of discrimination and racism in our world, in our state, and here in Palm Beach County. People sometimes don't want to talk about it because they feel awkward about it. I am a judge. I've been your judge for 20 years. I've been talking about it every day that I am on the bench if it comes up in the courtroom. The reason why you want an experienced judge is if anti-Semitism or discrimination or racism comes through the door into our courtroom by way of a case, you need to be experienced to know that it's there, but that's where it stops a lot of time in courtrooms. You need an experienced judge also to have the courage to expose it, to bring it out, to talk about it, and then to consider it for an ultimate verdict. And that's the only way you can get justice in a case, not by ignoring such important aspects like that. Real quick, I won't take much more time. The last time I was here, I was so proud to tell you that I got every endorsement out there, and I even got the endorsement from the Sun Sentinel, and you kind of all went, we don't read that paper, right? Well, a week after that, I went in front of the Post, and my opponent and I were both interviewed for about 45 minutes, and the Palm Beach Post has endorsed me as well. Do I get a better, okay. As well as the National Organization of Women, the firefighters, the paramedics, the police, the Fraternal Order of Police, the Police Benevolent Association, the Human Rights Council, AFL-CIO, Sun Sentinel, and the Palm Beach Post. And interesting enough, the Hispanic Vote PAC, as well as the Hispanic Chamber and the Leguia newspaper all have endorsed myself. My opponent identifies with being Hispanic, so I'm very complimented by that. But the best endorsement I can get are some of the endorsements I got in here this morning. Those of you who voted for me, I'm asking each of you to vote for me on August 23rd, and I thank you. I also got another endorsement from who?
Oh, from Dr. Jean Enright.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you. And again, thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Judge. Well, my guess was wrong. We have 122 signed-in delegates. We do indeed have a quorum. Thank you all. Sorry. All right. We will hear from all of our distinguished guests, but more toward the end when we've completed our business. The judge kind of snuck in there. You know, that I'm doing court thing works all the time. I'm glad that the PBSO officer highlighted this computer scam. And I want to thank Ken Graff for making this offer. You go across the street and get PC Professor to set up your machine. Very unlikely they'll do it for free. So you got expert advice here, and will keep you safe. All right. And having said all that, the only other thing I would note, I had hoped PBSO would mention it. We have a real issue in the village of speeding. This is very dangerous. And I don't want to sound holier than thou, but I'm very careful. I try to lead by example. I drive home from Yuko on the ring road, and I go 25 miles an hour. People come up behind me with their bright lights on, beeping me, and go around me around a double yellow line. Oncoming traffic doesn't seem to faze some of our drivers one bit. So PBSO has placed a speed trailer, and maybe some of you have noticed it. It's kind of a neat thing. It has the posted speed limit on the top and an LED readout of what your speed is approaching that device. And I think it works for a lot of people. They kind of hit the brakes, and that's exactly what it's for. Please be careful. We have a number of elderly citizens. They don't walk very fast, myself included, and grandchildren whose judgment may or may not be fully formed, go running out into the street. Please be careful. Don't speed in the village. Okay? I don't know. Maybe we'll start at the other end. Joanne, would you have anything to report?
Good morning. I don't have anything to report. I just have a request that everybody please check and update your delegate and alternate information. Every month we have a few people, not a lot, but every so often, when there's a change to your board, we need a completed form filled out and the seal resubmitted to the UCO office. So whenever there's any changes to your board, please just fill that paper out and bring it over when you have a chance. Then that's it. Thank you.
All right. And if you want to receive regular updates, I send them out all the time, principally the CAMS report, but other things as well. Give us your email, okay? I mean, I know a lot of you just don't want to be bothered. I mean, we have people that give us fake phone numbers all the time. Believe me, we're not sitting around calling you and badgering you and trying to sell you something. But on occasion, we need to get in touch with your board for one reason or another. I do not particularly like the telephone. To me, the telephone is noise in the air. I like to use email. Email leaves an audit trail. So consider giving us your email address. We will not bombard you with spam. The principal email I send out every week is the weekly CAM report, or I might send out some minutes. Particularly, I would ask you now, is there any interest in receiving this Delegate Assembly package in advance by email? And it's easy enough. It's a button push. Just add to the bandwidth stream. Okay. Dom, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm just recovering from COVID. I wrote a few notes. We've had rains in Kentucky, fires in California, but we're missing hurricanes here in the village. Not only the village, but all of Florida. We've got a delayed season. Keep up on getting your supplies. Be sure you have sufficient things from your pharmacy and so forth, and continue on as if it's going to be a season that's going to be heavily impacted at the end. So you have two choices. You can either run away and evacuate and get in a 200-mile car jam with gasoline unavailable and so forth, or you could also seek a spot in one of the I'm sorry, I'm still so screwed up. A shelter, one of the county shelters, and I think people in the front row can tell us a little something about that. Hey, here we go on this side. Thank you. That's about it. It's not if, but when. Thank you.
Thank you, Dom. Our treasurer, Ed Grossman. Briefly.
I'm glad you all came. We would have had a better turnout at my suggestion if you saw that it was in the news that this meeting was supposed to be in the party room. And I said, just serve bagels and lox and coffee. We will have the largest turnout we've ever had at the delegates. I do have one or two other quick things before I just briefly give you the financial report. The first thing is, I was going to open with the news of my death is greatly, what do they call, exaggerated. And that wasn't said by me. And why am I saying that? I was out for a good portion of this past month having contracted the COVID in a very, very extreme way. And so for a good portion of July, I was out. Now, I looked in our newspaper. I didn't see it. I was contacted to give an article, but believe me, I couldn't even lift my head off the pillow. Yet, when I look at it, Mr. Dominic has his picture. No one was reported that I'm out, but I'm not surprised. That will be taken care of in the future. The other thing is, we are now, the Treasury is now sending out emails to every single committee to submit what they think they will need for next year's budget. We're starting on the budget. We'll get it out. Your chair could let you know, or those of you who are members of that committee, or anybody else should submit what they think will cost money. It's very important, as I said in the past. We lost almost $1 million already because of the inflation. Very disturbed that the vote that said positive for the T-pills was turned down. One other thing, which is very quick, in my and the committee's job to look into everything in the budget, I reached out to one of our vendors and asked for information. We had a conversation. I sent out emails, one or two, and then I called, and I said, how come you didn't respond? And that vendor said, I was told not to give out any information. This will not lie. I'm continuing, and at the next Delegate Assembly,
Your time is up, Ed.
there is no time up.
The time is up, Ed. Thank you.
No,
Your
Ed, you-
time is up. We're all timed at 3 minutes.
I want to, so
Everybody
first
gets
of
3
all,
minutes.
I've been here over 2 years. I've been here 14 years. I never heard time called for an
Absolutely.
officer.
I've been in the audience, and I
Everybody
heard
gets
time
3
called.
minutes, Ed.
Not 3 minutes. Show me.
No,
3
everybody
minutes.
else is
Where it says 3 minutes for an officer. What kind of
And
nonsense is
we have yet to hear the finance
Let's not have an
report.
argument, please.
I
Next.
totally object. That's out of order. And I don't know that
I will
Patricia
not.
is the
Why don't you
elite
leave?
timekeeper.
All right. Ed,
I will now just focus on your financials. Very briefly. They're terrific.
cut the mic.
I'm out of time.
All right.
Who's next?
Now, moving right along. Stuart,
I'm Beth Dorico from Wellington J, and I object to an officer being cut off. The 3-minute limit in the bylaws clearly states that that's for all members, not
your objection
Objection is noted.
is duly noted. All right?
No.
We really are not here to listen to rambling. All right? Okay. Stuart.
Excuse me, I won't ramble. We just got a report in June that the number of units sold in Century Village reached an all-time high, which is really terrific in one way, but presents a problem to us here at UCO. People who are buying units are not informed by their associations as to the rules and regulations of how to live in Century Village. Their realtors do not inform them at all. And so we at UCO are getting people coming in asking us to do things for them that they should be doing on their own, asking questions that make no sense, don't know where this building is located, don't know how to get an ID card or ask questions about getting barcodes and so on. So we greatly appreciate if you inform new owners what the rules and regulations, the do's and don'ts. It makes life a lot easier for us. One other comment was mentioned by the police and Dave about the monitor for the speeds here in Century Village. I sat on the bus bench and watched the trucks roll by, never once slowing down for the 25-mile-an-hour limit, and other vehicles, 1 out of every 15 slowed down. Otherwise, it was just like a statue, part of the landscape, and no one pays any attention to it. And this could lead to very serious problems because we have people who walk the roads. The one guy who walks the roads reading the book, I see him virtually every day, and it's going to lead to tragedy, and we don't want that. And so that's my quick, less than 3-minute report.
Thank you, Stu. Oh, Patricia.
Good morning, everyone. I don't have very much to say since it's already been said, so I'm going to pass and have a beautiful day. God bless you all.
Thank you, Patricia. And last but not least, Fausto.
Good morning, everybody. I want to say thank you to the buildings that are putting new officers in place to make their buildings run more efficiently. On the other hand, they need to be educated. You need to learn what to say. Please learn what UCO's responsibility is, what WPRF's responsibility is, and what your responsibility is. The largest number of complaints that we have as officers, a realtor or a renter or an owner coming to UCO with a package saying, I was told by the president of the building that I have to drop this off here. That is not what you're supposed to do. That package does not go to the owner, the renter, or the realtor. It goes into the officer's hands. They review it, and they bring it to UCO. If you do not have officers, contact your management company. They will help you. Okay? Well, I'm just letting you know what it is. We cannot, a renter or an owner cannot come with a package and we cannot accept it. Just, those are the facts. And if you don't have officers that are going to be there, they shouldn't be officers. You got to have somebody in your building that's responsible. And I want to say thank you, and I applaud you, all the officers that spend the time, the efforts, and the long hours of keeping your building safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Fausto. And that brings us to our CAM, Donald Foster. LCAM report.
Good morning, everyone. I want to thank all of you who are here that showed up at last month's meeting with the Palm Beach County Buildings Department. It was a good meeting that cleared up a lot of questions, and they put some good tools in our hands to help us administer our associations. For those of you who were not there, please go to the blog and click on the link and watch the meeting. I think it's worth your time. There's a lot of renovations going on right now, and you want to make sure they're done right, because these are kind of things that will bother you for years. So if you haven't watched it, I would advise you to please do. Our annual UCO audit was returned to UCO this month. That's a document that's available to any Century Village unit owner. We had over 20 unit owners that contacted me for a copy. I'm happy to provide it to you via email. If you want to read it, just send me an email, yukomaintenance@gmail.com. And that's all I have for this month. Thank you very much.
Yeah, do not hesitate to request a copy of the audit, which was, I'm happy to say, clean. And that brings us to the editor-in-chief of our Yuko Reporter, Ms. Ruth.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'll be brief. Third page from the end is your Yuko Reporter breakdown. You'll note that we made $21,000 from January to July, and that's $3,000 a month for that period. As of the September issue, of course, we're going to lose our campaign ads, but I want to thank every campaigner in the audience for advertising with us. It was a pleasure doing business with you, and good luck. That's about all I have to say. Have a good day.
All right, thank you. Now, not aware of any unfinished business, but is there any new business to come before Delegate Assembly? Good morning, Barbara.
I have a question. Barbara Cornish, Chatham M. I'm on the Operations Committee. David keeps us well informed with all the emails. I received an email the other day, 18 pages long, about the air conditioning project and the arbitration. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I read it, but I still didn't quite understand it. Where do we stand with the air conditioning arbitration? Because the bottom line did not have the arbitrator's signature on it. So I don't know, is it passed? Is it not passed? Could one of the officers help me understand this?
All right. My understanding is the last information that was sent out were 2 draft proposals. It was noted by some that they were totally contradictory. Of course they were. One was written by Yuko's lawyer. The other was written by WPRF's lawyer. So each wants the arbitrator to find in their favor. We are of the belief that the decision by the Honorable Judge Barzi Flores will come probably on Monday. Now, I think Doc has come up because he's analyzed this pretty carefully. So, Doc, you want to say a few words?
What you said is correct. Each lawyer proposed who pays. Each lawyer wants the other party to pay. Honorable Mary Flores said she would have her decision by Monday. And I do not know if she can mediate between the two, or it has to be all one. We pay for everything, the air conditioning, the 10 years, or they pay for everything. I do not know. But Monday we should hear something. I would also just like to back up what Fausto and Donald just spoke about. After last Friday's meeting, I asked Phil Mazzai, the president of Assured Partners, which insures about 280 odd associations of the 309. He wrote, I asked him to write a letter admonishing association boards to monitor the buildings in their association. And I told him, scare the hell out of these people. He wrote me the letter. I'll be posting it, hopefully for the reporter. He said that insurance will not pay for unpermitted, unallowed work. It comes down onto the association, and the association will not be covered. And it could be that the owner, if they can contact him, he could be in South America or Europe, his insurance company will not pay. What it comes down to is that one swing of a sledgehammer or one impact of a jackhammer can in an instant create a situation that will take months and thousands to correct. So the board, as Fausto said and Donald said, they have to be on top of these illegal constructions. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I just want to make a quick comment on the first topic that was called regarding the final order from the judge on our arbitration, that both of these documents were what that side wants the judge to vote. But the judge has the option of not voting something else. That's in the judge's prerogative. So it may be one gets everything, it may be the other gets everything, but it also could be that the judge may see that each side has something to offer and may split it. So, and one other thing, while the judge is going to rule on Monday, whichever side wins, they're going to jump for joy, and the side that loses has, I believe, 90 days to file an appeal, which will be filed, I assure you, by either side if it doesn't favor that side. So it isn't over until it's over.
What do they say? Till the fat lady sings. Yes, dear.
Good morning, Donald. Little unfinished business. How's our blue Smurf Street doing?
Okay. Just to clue everybody in, this is Mary Ann. She's the president of Somerset G. Last month, WPRF painted the pickleball courts blue. There was a rainstorm, and now she's got a giant blue stain in her parking lot. Now, this is Somerset G property. It's partially maintained by UCO. As I explained to you, Marianne, things that have to do with WPRF are generally taken care of in the Operations Committee. Operations is basically the UCO Oversight Committee for WPRF. So I'm going to ask you to go to that meeting as well. But
that's the end of August, right?
It is, and we're going to ask David to put that on the agenda as an item.
Okay, that's number one.
I mean, we can't get used to it. Is really, as far as if I was you and I was president of you, I'd be hopping mad.
Well, I was told to look at the birds and the trees and ignore this big, huge blue thing outside my house.
And you saw my face when you told me that story.
Or my other option was just keep driving over it and wear it in.
Look, this damage was done by a vendor. I'm not going to say it's impossible. It's not impossible to fix, but it's difficult. You're not getting that paint out.
A little black sealer or something.
That's what I would suggest. I would suggest the whole square be seal-coated black.
Yeah.
And over time, that will fade and almost match it's the best we could do, really.
The other comment I have is that, you keep saying, please tell the new people the rules, the regulations, and this and that. And we tell them. Some of them don't abide by our rules and regulations.
Really?
Okay?
This is a shock to me.
Who knew? So, you know what? The people that are trying, the people that are on the boards, and the people that are trying the best they can, we are not police. And if I tell you you cannot do that, and you just go ahead and do it in the middle of the night, what do you want? No consequences, slap on the wrist, and who gets the blame? The board.
Of course you do.
Not fair. Now, another thing is, real quick, I know that you can't have LLC and corporations buying condos in here. Is that correct?
All right. Your documents does have language that regulates an LLC or a condom or a corporation purchasing.
I notice a lot.
What I would advise you to do is, in all cases, check with your attorney.
I'll go.
And there are instances where for instance, a trust, a family trust. That's essentially a.
Because I notice.
Remove from the hole.
What did I hear her say?
You want her out?
Did she curse?
Yes. You want her out?
No, leave her alone. Just
Okay,
Jeez.
my last.
Sorry about that, Marianne.
What?
Last but not least.
Charming.
I notice in the papers that we get, whether it's the Reporter or the Advocate, that the realtors are wording things a little differently, like tenant in place, great investment. What? I notice that a lot. Tenants in place, great investment. So.
In other words, it's got a current lease on the unit, and the unit is for sale.
So are you allowed to sublease and lease out these units?
This is a legal question. You really have to check with your association's attorney. Okay?
This is
Alrighty. All right,
this is
thank you.
certainly an association affair.
Obviously.
You want to consult your attorney and make sure your bylaws say what you need them to say.
Well, our bylaws, we go by them, and like I said earlier,
I mean,
a
we
lot
went
of people
through this.
don't.
We went through this with Airbnb some years ago.
Correct.
People leasing out their bedroom to anybody and their brother who came along.
Yep.
And this was a stop was put to that.
All right, well, that's it. We'll see you, Donald, soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Marianne.
Olga,
I'm sorry.
do you have some new business?
I'm pissed.
Whoa.
No.
First of all, I have to tell you that this system that they created today is abominable. Now I'm going to get to the point, okay?
Thank you.
Somebody brought this out to my attention. Aging summary. I looked at that because it didn't mean anything to me. But what it is the amount of money that's owed to UCO by various associations comes to $134,651.08. Now, my question is, what is UCO doing about this?
Yes, can I answer you? Since it's my report, I purposely, in the last 2 meetings, included the accounts receivable. There's been an ongoing program to bring everything up to date. You see a large amount in the July report because July is the quarter that all the association have to remit directly or through their CAM. So that's unusually high. The ones that are not up to date have been contacted. And I felt that having the delegates here, they could see who's been paid and who hasn't been paid. And those associations who are represented will see that they're on the list. Now,
I appreciate that very much, that you have brought it to our attention.
Step one.
But,
step one.
Okay, it's my understanding that when a building doesn't pay UCO, this creates a problem for the rest of the people. Not only that, is that UCO is supposed to take away the residents of that building's privileges. Is that correct?
And
Olga?
when appropriate, we do so. We can turn off transponders, for example. That's usually the first resort. We turn over the transponder. We do not have really excessive delinquency. When these people, they get a phone call, they usually pay up.
I got one here for $20,000 from Ralph's Edge.
Excuse me. Just want to respond. And I heard yay. First of all, the individual unit owner pays to his or her CAM. We've had instances where the CAM has not remitted, although Olga paid her dues. Would you want to be turned off? You first have to ascertain whether or not that unit owner is delinquent. And that is a job. Now, many, I can't say many, we don't have many CAMs, but it's my experience in some cases, CAMs don't remit. In fact, when we try to reconcile, if Cam A has paid everything for your building, he says, or she says, let me check it out. And 3 weeks later, we find that they didn't remit or went to the wrong account. So everything should be put in perspective. I think you can call, we call, you could write, we write. This is the
If I don't pay my electric
step
bill, my
forward.
electricity gets cut off. If I don't pay my gas bill, my gas gets cut off. If I don't pay my mortgage, I lose my apartment. So can I say to all these people, maybe you should stop paying UCO dues because they can't do anything to you.
Good job.
Something's wrong with the ship.
Yes, and it's a good job, but the first line of defense is the CAM. CAM's responsibility. And that's part of what a CAM gets paid for.
I never heard of such a thing. I never heard of a CAM being responsible for the building paying UCO dues. This doesn't make any sense to me.
Hi, Ogre. Just to be clear, when we say Ed says it's the CAM's responsibility, he's talking about your personal property manager at your associations. They're supposed to make sure that the bills are paid. That's what a manager does. That's what I do for UCO. So your first stop as a unit owner, talk to your manager. Hey, are we up to date with UCO?
So
and if the answer is no, there's usually a reason.
So then you should say that UCO should get in touch with the maintenance company of the individuals who are not paying to get possibly them to write a check. Is that
That's
correct?
that's one of the things we do when we see a serious delinquency. The other thing is one of the vice presidents will contact the board. You work it. There's usually a good reason for it. It's usually a mishap. Not always, Olga. Sometimes it's a problem and it has to be straightened out. So we all have to work together on it.
Okay.
All right.
Whatever.
Give the mic to Dan. Yes, Dan.
Yeah, it's a question. The insurance presentation after the operations committee was a closed meeting. There was no bids or anything. So what's so secret about being a closed meeting? Insurance presentation to WPRF that we are responsible if something is wrong and we are paying the premium. Why was it a closed meeting?
Whenever we have a bid situation and we have a company come in, we have closed meetings because we don't want people running out and telling another company who they prefer, Dan, about what the numbers were. So that's why it's a closed meeting.
Was it a bid committee?
I can't understand a thing you're saying through that mask.
Was it a bid meeting or just presentation
It was
of the
one
insurance?
of the vendors, yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any other new business? Actually, we've kind of gone right through into good and welfare, but is there any other new business to come before Delegate Assembly? Seeing none, we'll go into good and welfare, which I think we've kind of been in. So is there anyone else that needs to be heard in good and welfare? I'm hearing something.
We had it done already.
No, we had something of a treasurer's report. What's that, John? I understand. But the treasurer, interestingly enough, is an officer of UCO. You can chalk that up to my error. All right? All right. Now, we have a large number of dignitaries here. I mean, I got so many, I don't know where to start. So I'm going to start with our county commissioner for District 2, Commissioner Weiss.
Good morning, everybody. It's good to be with you all. Sorry I missed you last month, but I know Niels was here. Just a couple of things. If you don't know, I also am serving on the canvassing board, so I have an opportunity to serve with the Supervisor of Elections. Right now we're reviewing the ballots that are coming in, the vote by mail ballots. Just want to remind everybody, our signatures change over time, and it's really important that you keep your signature on file with the Supervisor of Elections office up to date. It's unfortunate when we have to send a ballot back to somebody to say, please cure this, because your signature has changed and it doesn't resemble the way it used to look. So please make sure, because I want to make sure everybody's vote gets counted. And it's heartbreaking when you know in your heart it probably is the right person, but the signature is just so different it can't be accepted. Also, and you're going to hear from one of my colleagues at the county in a little bit, but hurricane preparedness. We are fast approaching our prime hurricane season here in Palm Beach County in South Florida, which tends to be the end of the season. Starting in September, but really in the end of September, October timeframe. If you're not prepared, if you don't have your supplies, this is the time now to make sure you have them in your home. You need to be prepared, and you'll hear this later, but you need to be able to prepare for yourself for 3 to 5 days, okay? Make sure you have enough water, enough food, enough medicine, that you can keep yourself going with things being shut down if it's not available. And then lastly, I want to leave you with, when I was not here last month, I was at a conference representing Palm Beach County, and I am pleased to share with you that I received a leadership award from the Small County Coalition of the Florida Association of Counties for my leadership in helping the smaller counties in Florida. And it was an honor to receive that award and just a recognition of my colleagues from around the state. So I'm sorry I missed, but I was there and a beneficiary of their honor. And then lastly, Niels is not with us today. He is overseas with his family. His father is not well, and so he's over there with his dad. So please keep him in your hearts and prayers and his family, and we're hoping for the best. So thank you, and as you know, we're always available. Please call me anytime you need any assistance. We're here for you. Have a great day.
All right, I don't even know where to start, so the person with the biggest handout will be called next. And if I get this pronunciation wrong, you correct me. Dr. DeAndre Poole.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Israel, and thank you to your officers and everyone here today. My name is Dr. DeAndre Poole, and just want to share briefly, I know I have 2 minutes, and I'll be out your way. I was born and raised here in West Palm Beach. I am a professor at Florida Atlantic University, and I am a graduate of Suncoast High School and Howard University. So, and I've been at FAU for 11 years, and I'm also president of the faculty union, and I've held that job for the past 4 years. So I represent 900 in-bargaining unit members. So that's a lot of people I'm responsible for. So in addition to my professional work, I also have served as vice chair of the Palm Beach County Democratic Party, position I held for 8 years. I served as chair of the Criminal Justice Advisory Committee for the City of West Palm Beach, and I also was a member of the Oversight Committee for the sales surtax money, which was generated by the 1-cent sales tax. I served on the Port of Palm Beach Audit Committee, so I'm standing as a candidate for the Port of Palm Beach Group 5 race. Some of you I know, so I'm no stranger to Century Village, to this community. But I just wanted to come today to reintroduce myself to you. I'm running for the Port of Palm Beach, and there are 2 issues I have. One, we want to increase port revenue, because if we can increase revenue, we can hire more local jobs. We have lots of people leaving Palm Beach County because they cannot afford to live here. And I know many of you have to readjust your budgets as well to keep up with inflation. But as a port commissioner, I have some leeway with other port commissioners to be able to address some of the concerns that we have here. I also want to work on developing programs for our young people so that we can keep them employed, so they won't take all their gifts and talents other places. And so that's part of my passion as an educator. So I have the civic experience, the nonprofit board experience, and the political experience. And I've been endorsed by Port Commissioner Gene Enright, Port Commissioner Peyton MacArthur, Commissioner Susan, former Supervisor Susan Booker, the Palm Beach Post, the local AFL-CIO union, as well as the Palm Beach County Human Rights Council, and many other elected officials. 3 former county commissioners as well have supported my campaign, and you can see them on my flyer. So I would appreciate your support and your support and your vote, and your neighbors. Please spread the word. Thank you.
All right. All right, now next we shall hear from Dr. Gene Enright, Port Commissioner. Haven't seen you in a while.
I've been busy, very busy. My little one, I told you, got married. She just had the baby the other day. So I'm a grandma. Can you believe this? I'm a grandma? Oh, wow. Things go by. But anyway, I'm Dr. Gene Enright, and I've served as your port commissioner for the last 18 years. I'm here because I love Century Village, and you all got it going. And when I say got it going, it's important that you take a good look at the Port of Palm Beach. We're a niche port. In addition, we have a new ship. You've heard about the Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville. It goes out every other day. Now we're into looking at the future for our master plan for the port. We hire over 3,000 employees that are associated with the Port of Palm Beach. But what's important, too, is because we are self-sufficient and we're very efficient, we've never had to levy taxes like all the folks down south. And that's very important now. With the high cost of gas, the high cost of groceries, I know I feel the crunch and the pain. I don't know about all of you. But, and then if you're assessed a port tax like Miami-Dade and Broward County, man, so it's important that you make sure that we elect people who are for us. So that's about it. I just want to say hello. I also want you to know that I've endorsed DeAndre Pooh, the Palm Beach Post has, and nearly every commissioner has, because he's a good person. And we need someone to ensure that we continue to do the business of the port. I also have my fellow commissioner, Peyton MacArthur, here, and he's worked very hard over the years with Century Village. He's also endorsed Commissioner Dr. Pooh, then your former Commissioner Paulette Burdick, Susan Booker. But look, take a look at the port and make sure you vote. Vote your conscience, vote your heart. Start at the top, but don't forget the bottom of the ballot. That's important, because if you end up just voting for Joe Blow Snow at the bottom of the ballot, your taxes can go up. Anything can happen, and Greg Weiss will tell you that, because he's on the county commission. So if you get all the top folks and then you forget your county commissioner, you forget your port people, wow, you will feel that pain in a couple months. Anyway, remember the port. If you would like to go on the tour, make sure you contact us. We'll be more than happy to give you a tour of the port. We were planning to take a group of Century Village citizens on a tour, but what has happened, we've had to cut back because we were told that because of COVID-19.
Yeah.
But if there's anything that we can do for you or I can do, please call us. If you plan to sell on the Margaritaville, I do whatever I can to make it happen. You know, so just let us know. Also, remember, pool, I would love to jump in a pool. And when it comes to being just in court, remember St. Justice. Remember justice in court. And remember this young lady. Thank you.
Thank you. All the excursions are on hold right now because of what's going on with the COVID, hon.
What was that, Patricia?
all the excursions have been put on hold because of so many new COVID cases. So we haven't made any plans to go to the Port of Palm. We were going, but we had to put it off for a while.
All
But
right.
we will be going as soon as it's safe enough. Thank you.
All right. Correct me if I get this pronunciation wrong. Alcolia Saint Just, Circuit Court Judge candidate. Am I close?
Perfect.
Oh.
Perfect. I will keep it very brief. I know it's been a long morning for you all. My name is Alcolia St. Just. I'm a candidate for Circuit Court Judge Group 23. I'm a Palm Beach County native. I was born and raised right down the street in Boynton Beach. I've been practicing law here in Palm Beach County for more than 18 years. I've also served in a quasi-judicial role as a special magistrate, again, here in Palm Beach County for more than 10 years. So I have experience as a trial attorney in the courtroom, and then I have the experience of listening to witness testimony, reviewing evidence, and then ruling based upon the case law that prevails, all here in Palm Beach County, serving the community. Looking to ensure that everyone that comes before the court has a fair and equal opportunity to be heard, that no one comes in with any advantage or disadvantage because of who they are, who they know, what they do, or where they come from, and then ensuring that when I'm serving you, the constituents of Palm Beach County, that I'm doing so with respect for everyone that comes before the court. I'm happy to say that I have the endorsement of the Palm Beach Post. I have the endorsement of Port Commissioner Dr. Enright, as well as Mr. Richards and Mr. Anderson, who also serve as Port Commissioner. I have the endorsement of more than 45 local and state elected officials, as well as over 80 attorneys who serve here in Palm Beach County. I'm asking for your vote on Tuesday, August 23rd, or if you vote by mail. Additionally, I want to thank Mr. Les Rivkin for his support. And I thank all of you because some of you have said that you've already voted. I appreciate that. That is the best endorsement that one can receive is your vote. Again, if you haven't voted yet, you can vote by mail, you can vote early, or you can vote on Tuesday, August 23rd. The easy way to remember me when you go to the polls is St. Justice for All. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on. Okay. And now, representing Dorothy Jacks from the Property Appraiser's Office, Mike Pratt. Hi, Mike.
Hello there, Century Village. What's left of you? But Fausti made a great point earlier about the explosion of sales here in Century Village. I want to tell you, I've never seen a year like this. Palm Beach County experienced nearly 80,000 sales. And we were here yesterday, by the way, taking homestead exemptions in the lobby. We took homestead exemptions as well. And what's kind of interesting, we put out a statistic, and we have never had more people come from other places. And I guess if you said, who do you think most of the people, what state are they coming from? You'd probably guess New York. Yes. Number 2, New Jersey. Massachusetts 3, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, then California, Illinois, and Maryland. I have to tell you that August 18th, you're going to get a notice, a trim notice from the Property Appraiser's Office, Dorothy Jacks, your valuation for the coming tax year. And if you're a homesteaded property, your value is going to go up 3%, the maximum cap. If you're non-homesteaded, your value is going to go up 10%. That's the non-homesteaded cap. But as you duly noted, Fauci, there's an explosion here in Palm Beach County and around the state of Florida. More than 20% valuation increases because people are paying unbelievable prices for properties. So I warn you, thank goodness you're homesteaded. We'll be here next month. Take your homestead exemptions for any permanent residents. We come. This is the first Friday. We come the first Thursday of the month in the lobby here. When we're here, if you check our Facebook page, you'll see we had a photograph actually of our group here. And thank you very much. Get ready. Trim time is coming. You can petition your value but the values are so high, you can only petition the actual market value. So thank goodness you're homesteaded, and also that there is a cap even for non-residents at 10%. The ones that are really going to get hit are your commercial properties, your industrial properties. They don't have any capping at all. So thank you very much. Mike Pratt, Dorothy Jacks, the Property Appraiser's Office. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Next up, hopefully, from the Director of the Division of Emergency Management, Mary Blakeney.
Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to take a couple minutes, as Vice Mayor Weiss had mentioned, you know, we're getting into the heart of hurricane season now, and I just want to make sure that all of you not only personally prepare, but work for us and be that advocate and that voice to other members of your community, especially those that have never lived in a hurricane-prone state. So I want to tell you about a few simple things, really quick, that you could remember. And it's our plan to be prepared is simple. Make a plan, build a kit, get involved, and be informed. So I just want to touch on each of those. Make sure you have a plan for what you're doing if a hurricane's approaching. If you want to go stay with a friend or family member because you don't feel comfortable in your own home, make those plans now. If you plan to stay home, make sure your home is ready, that you have shutters. If you plan to go to one of our shelters, we only evacuate people because of storm surge, not because of wind. So you are not in an evacuation zone here. But if you don't feel comfortable in your home, as was said earlier by a member of your board, we do have hurricane shelters in place when there's a storm approaching. So make your plan now and communicate that plan with everybody in your family. Also, your disaster supply kit. Get those things now. It doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to go buy gallons of water, even though you should have 1 gallon per person per day. But you can fill containers that already exist in your home. Throw an extra loaf of bread in the freezer now. Do whatever you can do. Build your supply kit off of, buy one, get one free items if you need to. So do those plans now. Be informed. ReadyPBC.gov. ReadyPBC.gov is our website, has great information on it and on being informed. We also have a mobile application that you can sign up for through your phone, your landline, your cell phone, where we would push information out to you about life-saving information that could impact you at your home. And then finally, get involved. We talked earlier, this community has a lot of CERT members, Community Emergency Response Team members. We offer that training for free. It's neighbor helping neighbors, so we'd really encourage you all to get involved in your community. I know you all are the ones that are probably the most involved in your community, but Community Emergency Response Team members get additional training. So we're here for you. We want to give you that information, readypbc.gov. It's really important, and our office is happy to come out to any of your own individual meetings to do a more thorough preparedness information and get you all information you need. We did leave some stuff on a table outside, so please, at any time, feel free to call the Division of Emergency Management, and we'd be there to share with you preparedness information for any type of hazard.
Time is up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Candidate for Port Commissioner, Mike Whalen. Oh, Mike, haven't seen you in a while.
Yes. Good morning, and thank you very much. I appreciate you having me here this morning. My name is Michael Whalen, and I'm a candidate for Port Commissioner Group 5. My wife and my family, we moved here from Pittsburgh in 1975, so we're long-term residents of Palm Beach County. Also, I have a finance and a business background. I was a finance director for 2 large Palm Beach County corporations. I was also the executive manager for Universal Warranty Corporation and Great Atlantic Life Insurance Company. I'm a former Palm Beach County business owner and presently employed as a realtor. The port is very, very important to Palm Beach County. It generates about $15 billion worth of revenue a year, and also is a home now to 2 different cruise companies. So my vision for the port, because it sits on about 162 acres, is to create more jobs and to always keep the port safe. And again, I'd ask for your vote on August 23rd. Thank you very much for your attendance. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Oh, last minute candidate for judge, yes? Karen Velez.
Good morning. I apologize for being here late. I had a family emergency. I'm Karen Velez. I'm running for Palm Beach County Court Judge. I've been a Palm Beach County resident for almost 25 years. I've been an attorney for 16. And I'm running because I have the experience, the background, I have a breadth of work-life experience that would make me an asset to the Palm Beach County Court bench. So let me start with my legal career. I've been an attorney for 16 years. For over a decade of it, I was in court every single day. I started my legal career as a public defender in court every day, thousands of times, some days 10, 12 courtrooms, representing people from all walks of life, mostly the poor, mostly people of color, but I'm a Spanish speaker, and so I was called a Spanish floater, which meant that I went from courtroom to courtroom representing often non-English speakers. So I did my job in 2 languages, and I did that for over a decade. I have jury trial and bench trial experience. I am now the owner of the Velez Law Firm in Palm Beach County, in Boca, where for 4 years, where we represent moms, dads. I do mostly family law, so child custody, paternity. During COVID, I represented a lot of dads that were not being given access to their children. So family law matters, equitable distribution, that kind of stuff. So I have criminal law, civil law experience. I've been an attorney for 16 years. But I have 2 professions that would assist me and make me a valuable asset to the Palm Beach County bench. One in the business world. So after college, I worked for Enterprise Rent-A-Car, worked in-house in their claims office. They asked me to move down to Florida and open their claims office here. So I 23 years old, opened their claims office here in Florida, been in Boca ever since roughly 25 years, along with my husband. Beyond that, I left that to teach. I wanted to give back, and we bought our home. I went to teach, and I was an educator, teaching psychology and advanced placement psychology to high school students. I was doing that on 9/11, and it is the horrific pain, seeing children, students navigating through that, and during the aftermath, realizing that life is short, no one's promised tomorrow, and then I went to law school because I wanted to give back, and that had been my dream. This is my dream now, and I am more than deserving, and I ask you, I will leave these to look me up. As a woman that has, again, 3 professions, business world, education, and then 16 years, the work-life experience is there. I am more than qualified. I'm running against a gentleman that was appointed over 2 decades ago, has never run for office. And so these things are relevant. Things change. Think about your own lives. Please vote for Karen
Sorry,
Velez.
time is
Thank
up.
you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, from Palm Beach Fire and Rescue, Al Pulverente. Am I close?
You're right on.
Okay.
That was awesome, by
Thank
the way.
you.
I'll just pick up the whole thing. So, I work, Marine Corps, that's right, Semper Fi. But I'm with the Palm Beach County Professional Firefighters Union, and I'm a representative here. I just wanted to speak really quick. Everyone hit the hurricanes. That's great, because during that time we see car accidents, people rushing around. Have your plan. She went over it. We just live in the state of Florida, so please inform the people. I heard a lot of new people moving in. Please inform them to be prepared. But what we didn't go over, I'm sure you've been watching the news about the heat wave around the country. If you go for a walk with your friends, you go play racquetball or go down the pool, grab some extra fluids, your electrolytes, talk to your doctors. Medications can hinder that. I've seen trauma in 19 years of my career of people that are dehydrated and fall, right? Going for a walk or walking downstairs, and then they have a long, drawn-out hospital time and bills and injuries, right? So please, if you're going with your friends and you're going for a walk, that's all I'm going to go after. Make sure you're hydrated. watermelon, things like that, things that you can eat. Check with your doctor, but make sure you're hydrating. I usually come with my Camelback on my back because I've seen grown men that are in great shape, they're in their 20s, fall out because of hydration. That's all I have. Be safe. I heard about the speed limit. Please slow down. Car accidents do injure and kill people. So I'm here. I want you to be safe. Just remember, in the middle of the night, at 3 o'clock in the morning, when you see my brothers and sisters from Station 23 to come and serve you, we were the little kids with the plastic helmets at 6 years old that wanted to do this. So it's not a career, it's a dream job.
Thank you. Representing the Social Security Administration, Scott Prescott. Is he still here? Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Scott Prescott. I work for Social Security Administration. I'm a supervisor in the office here in West Palm Beach. We're open.
Good to know.
We were actually fully functioning through the entire COVID. We just recently reopened for limited services in our lobby. But I do recommend that if you have an issue, that you contact our office. I'll give you a couple of phone numbers. You might want to make sure that you're registered online for online services at www.socialsecurity.gov. We only have one website. Anything else that says AD next to it is not valid. Don't go there. The main number for the administration is 1-800-772-1213. That's the national number. 1-800-772-1213. That's the national number. Don't call that number if you have a specific issue. If you have a specific issue, you want to deal with the local office, which is our office. Our general inquiry line for the West Palm Beach office is 866-783-7339. 866-783-7339. Okay? We do have appointments for limited services in the office. We're not taking claims in the office. Claims are all being taken over the phone or the internet right now. But you can get appointments to do that by calling the general inquiry line. If you have any specific questions, more general questions, I can't look at people's records while other people are around. But if you have any general questions, I'll be hanging out for a little while after the meeting with Derek from Congressman Mass' office. And I'd be more than happy to answer any general questions that anybody has. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I've run out of cards, so if there are any dignitaries here who did not give me a card, step up.
Good morning. Good morning. Part of my family is from New York, so I'm going to be direct and to the point. If you all have concerns and you want to hear from federal representatives, whether it's Scott Clem, whether it's Mary Blankley, please let me know. I also wish that they had spoken earlier when there was a packed audience, because many in the crowd probably could have benefited from this information. I'm not one to tell people what to do, but I would like to suggest in the future, if we have a representative from Social Security or from emergency management, that they speak first so that our wonderful constituents can benefit. The last thing, I heard someone speak with reference to fraud. If you'd like for us to hold a, let me back up. With reference to fraud, Congressman Math's office is having a fraud forum on Friday, August 19th, FAU Jupiter campus, and I think it's extremely important for all of us to attend, because sometimes when I'm watching commercials with one of my favorite quarterbacks, Joe Namath, I get a little confused, right? Because they're pimping or selling Medicaid, Medicare issues. Other people are selling Social Security. In addition, we get phone calls from people saying that they're from Social Security. We'll get things of that sort. That's fraud. Trust me. So if you get a minute, please try and attend. And if there's anything that we can do, always feel free to call my office, the congressman's office. I don't care if you have a question, you saw something on TV, you don't think it's right, feel free to call. The phone number is 561-530-7778. Thank you and God bless you.
Can you tell us who you are, or do you have some contact information?
The date is Friday, August 19th, Jupiter campus. It'll be at the Ollie program. My name is Derek Hankerson. I'm with the Office of Congressman Mast. 561-530-7778. Call me for anything. No question is silly. Thank you so much.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Card.
I do not. I've run out of cards.
All right. Who's next? Go ahead, please.
Hi, my name is Amy. I am from Constitutional Tax Collector Ann Gannon's office. Happy Friday, everyone. I just wanted to come and tell you guys, if you're not aware of it, I know the community has a lot of issues with outdated vehicle registrations. So, I don't know if you are aware of the fact we have kiosk machines in selected Publixes throughout Palm Beach County. You can actually go to this kiosk and renew your registration right there. You can have your little sticker in less than 3 minutes. Avoid the lines. You don't have to go into our office. As long as you do not have any holds on your driver's license, you are eligible. If you are late, you can still renew it up to 8 months after that date. There will be late charges, but you can get it done right there in the Publix. If you want some more information, I do have some brochures about it, or you can go to our website, www.pbctax.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
All right. Sir, Rodney.
Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Rodney Statham. I'm with the Palm Beach County Clerk of the Circuit Court. That would be Joseph Abruzzo's office. Just wanted to give you a quick update. Does anybody want any money? Free money or no? Okay. Just in case you've had dealings with the Clerk of the Circuit Court, and we have an area on our website for unclaimed funds. The website is mypalmbeachclerk.com. So if you had a cash bond or outstanding juror checks, if you did jury duty this past year and didn't receive your check, any civil registry or any bond deposits, we have your money. So you can go and do a name search for your funds if we're holding them. Now the caveat is September, that money, you lose it. So please go to our website, mypalmbeachclerk.com, and you can do a quick search for unclaimed funds and just check and see if you have any money with our office. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rodney. Now, if you have a card, we'd be glad to take one, Rodney. Have we missed anybody? Not many people left, those of you that hung in. Thank you. I would now entertain a motion. We have a motion from Bobby Levin, yes, to adjourn. Without objection, we are adjourned. Thank you all.